The Minister of Health and Sanitation, Dr. Denby, has disclosed that his ministry has secured $23.8 million from Japan International Corporation to construct MOHAMED tertiary children's hospital at Lumley in Freetown. According to the health minister, the 152-bed hospital is due for completion by early 2023. Dr. Demby explained the importance of the proposed hospital.
You're going to have an extremely high-quality hospital for pediatrics here for the Western area. The other real advantage here is it's going to be linked to the teaching hospital complex. The advantage of having the teaching hospital complex associated with this is you have high-level faculty, high-level professors who know pediatrics in and out. They will be there to provide services, but at the same time, train Sierra Leoneans. So here in the center of the Western area, you're going to have a facility that nobody else has in the country. So in years and years and years, and people have moved in there, they've occupied it, and they've stayed in there. But that doesn't change the fact that it's still state land, it's still hospital property. So we cannot have a situation where Dr. Williams here, you should go to that hospital. I'm sorry, it's closed now, but you went in there a few weeks ago. There is no room for services. He is busy putting oxygen in the lungs of a baby in his office. There is no room for even parking the ambulance. If one ambulance parks in there, there is no way for another ambulance to come in and park. Yet you have all of this land that is dedicated to the hospital. And I think what we wanted to do was to make this really owned by the community by going out there and reclaiming this land. For those that have been there and have gone in there and occupied the hospital properties, you know, we know it's a rainy season and we know we cannot compensate people for squatting on government property. It's not right, it's illegal. But what we're saying is, it's a rainy season, and the Honorable has been just very helpful to say, well, why don't we find a reasonable gift to give to people so they could go out and rent property that they could stay in? And we said, well, what would that look like? I mean, the equivalent of 12 months of rent will be reasonable, especially since people are squatting on the property. This is not a compensation, sir. We're not setting a bad precedent.
In his statement, the Honourable Member of Parliament representing the people of Constituency 132, Honourable Ibrahim Towers, highlighted the areas that will benefit from the 152 pediatric bed hospital within his constituency.
For example, if I take Kamayama as a community, I have Kondifam, I have Timbaland, I have Kushutom, I have Jack Kingdom, I have Kosovo, I have Black Tank. That is just one community and its sub-communities. If I take Kanigo, I have Kanigo Junction, that's the entry to Kanigo. I have Mahimowata, I have Ambogai, I have Timayagwa, I have Lokotom, I have 1 Mile, I have Ijin. These are 10 communities in 2 communities. 10 sub-communities in 2 communities. That is to say, the number of people that stand to benefit from what we are going to look at, and the number of people that we are catering for far outweighs what has been going around and what has been making rounds in the news. What we intend to do as a constituency is to seek, to protect, to guide, and to ensure that we save lives and make our people comfortable. And in this instance, it is but rare that members of parliament are blessed in the way I am. It is not easy in Sierra Leone context where health challenges have been a serious concern over the years. Today, we are turning the corner, and we are envious of districts and communities like Koyuta. We are envious of other communities. We are envious of 34 military hospital. But I'm sure in not more than 2 years, Lumley will become the center of health excellence in Sierra Leone, because I'm about receiving a 100-bed general hospital that is almost at its completion stage, and will have in the shortest time 152-bed pediatric center of excellence that will save the lives of about 15,000 children in these 15 communities. And these 15 communities spans from Kasville to Juba, to Kalingo, to Number 9, to Kamayama, to Pentagon, to Bambaila, you name them. So it is what's fitting that I am invited to this meeting and to address the press so that the press understand exactly where the constituency sits on this.
The Director of Surveys and Lands at the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning, Tabal Dauda, stated that as a ministry that is in charge in land allocation, we make sure that they follow the proper processes and procedures in resolving the issue around the proposed site of the construction of the hospital.
Do out schemes to ensure that whatever is being placed upon the land is placed in the best possible position. And as a ministry responsible for the administration and management of land across the country, and also housing and country planning, we ensure before appropriating the use of land, we ensure that we conduct further studies as to how we appropriate the utilization of the lands across the country, particularly in the western area with a growing population. And we have realized that in the past, lands are just being allocated for specific purposes without doing researches. And so what we've done so far is to ensure that if we say we want to have a school, we also look at the surrounding communities and look at the possibility of fixing up the school in the desired location as requested by a specific community. And we also will look at how the erection of that school will affect the surrounding communities. We don't want to create isolated communities wherein every community will have the same facilities. By doing that, we create redundant facilities. So we want to also have cohesiveness amongst communities or societies, so that what a community might be lacking can be found in several other communities.
The head of Lumley Government Hospital, Dr. Nathaniel Williams, said the ministry has answered their crisis, noting that with the completion of the hospital, they will now have a potential of 100-bed facility.
Then we have to double. We have to put 2 children per bed. So, which is not ideal in any condition. Now the ministry has answered some of our cries, and we now have the potential for a 100-bed capacity, a 100-bed facility, a general facility, and an even bigger structure for pediatric care. Now, those in the health sector will tell you that we really struggle with the number of pediatric beds that we have. So increasing that is, for Sierra Leoneans, is a win-win situation. Now, over a 2.5-year period, the management of the Lumley Government Hospital has been engaging some of the squatters within the land, and various land ministries have been called upon.
For Beyond Borders Online Network Television, I am MOHAMED reporting.